Hi, my name's Andrew, and this is how to transition to a carnivore diet on a budget for less than $10 a day. Basically, one of the biggest complaints I hear from people about switching to an animal-based diet is that they think it's going to be too expensive. But the truth is that Americans already spend over $300 a month on low-quality groceries, and that's good news because it means most people do have the money to eat healthy if they want. So, let's talk about the 5 best animal-based foods that give you the most nutrition for the lowest price possible. First off, the best cheap carnivore food is organic grass-fed ground beef for around $7 a pound, which gives me protein, zinc, iron, and a boatload of other nutrients. Technically, you can get it cheaper, but it's gonna come from sick, malnourished factory cows that are penned up all day and fed corn, soy, byproducts, synthetic chemicals, and a bunch of other toxic garbage that can cause cancer and other serious health problems too. Secondly, I like to get organic free-range chicken thighs for around $6.50 a pound, which are similar to ground beef with lots of protein as well as energy-dense calories from the skin. Ideally, you want to get poultry from small farms where the chickens can forage naturally rather than corn and soy, which can cause allergies and other issues, but this is more expensive. And while I personally stopped making bone broth because I'm on a raw carnivore diet, if you're on a really tight budget, it is a good way to get some extra nutrition. Thirdly, the best cheap source of fat on a carnivore diet is beef suet, which you can find for as little as $3.50 a pound in the freezer section of most grocery stores. And you want to eat a lot of this because the human body can easily turn fat into energy, whereas it's much more difficult to convert protein, which is why so many carnivores that eat just low-fat steak or ground meat end up with depression and chronic insomnia. Fourthly, another cheap source of fat on carnivore is chicken egg yolks for around 50 cents per egg. And again, you do want to buy them organic free range because factory farm chickens are extremely sick and toxic. Personally, I toss the whites and only eat the yolks because the yolks contain 99% of the nutrition, like iodine, choline, and vitamin D. But if you're desperate, you can cook the whites for more protein, although on a carnivore diet, you're probably getting more than you need already. Finally, the cheapest carnivore food with the most nutrition is beef liver, which you can often find for as little as $5 a pound, usually in the freezer section of the grocery store, and it is an absolute powerhouse of vitamins and minerals. Also, what most people don't realize is that the carnivore diet is extremely high in zinc and extremely low in copper, which is essential for nerves, joints, dopamine, and literally every other human function. And liver is basically the only animal-based food in the world that provides enough copper to maintain a proper balance. This is why wild carnivore animals go for the liver first, and why influencers like Sean Baker, who eat little to no organs and mostly muscle meat, have such flat, emotionless personalities and always kind of seem to be struggling with higher level functions like creativity and humor. Basically, muscle meat is great if you want to lift weights up and down.
I lift things up and put them down.
But for everything else, you're gonna need organs. If you still got money in your budget after those 5 staples, my other favorite carnivore food is wild caught salmon, which can be more expensive at around $15 a pound, but it gives you a ton of omega-3 and iodine, even from a small portion. Also, I love Gerolsteiner mineral water, which contains 40% of the magnesium and calcium RDA in one bottle. In long term, for anyone on a medium-sized budget, I definitely recommend swapping in organs like heart, spleen, and kidney, as well as more fats like brain and bone marrow. Overall, animal-based foods are surprisingly affordable, and if you shop smart, you can easily get 10x the nutrition of someone blowing their money on lower quality packaged foods. That said, if you'd like to learn more, you can check out my Raw Primal playlist or my carnivore shopping list to see what I eat every day on a tight budget. And if you have a question about carnivore or about natural health in general, let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time. Peace!